All right, guys, we're gonna finish the final act of Fontaine. Are we finally gonna rescue Tartaglia?
Hey, you over there. Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation.
Is this
TCG?
Sino in disguise?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
This is a nerd in prison.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game? All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually
Wait, is that
come
another
here to
hidden
fight?
rule I'm supposed to break?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same in my eyes. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi.
How does he know I
Sure.
play cards, though?
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to just pick a topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived? Then, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
What does that mean?
There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. People call them the Bombshell Bros.
The Bombshell
I
Bros.
never
That sounds a
found
pretty
their
badass
gossip very
name.
mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but they aren't exactly bad.
What if they talk about how to break out? Because, I mean, no one wants to be in
Good to know.
jail.
Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing.
Yeah, what's your horoscope?
Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
What?
Wait, are you serious?
Risey
That's right.
was
The
a
Duke
was
an
a
inmate just
prisoner?
like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though? To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole
So you
place?
really, it's
I'm
almost
not
like you
gonna
really
lie,
do get
I kinda
reborn in
respect
prison.
that. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
From your
It's just a rumor
mom.
we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
That's actually really cool. Because
Anything
he
else?
definitely didn't act like a prisoner. You know, he
Not
was
that I
so
can think of,
proper.
but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me
Oh
first.
my
though.
god. Don't tell me I have to do that. I'm so bad at the card game.
There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
Dude, I got noticed.
Sorry for eavesdropping.
I did not have NPC
Sounds like
presence.
you were talking about something private.
Yeah, they were. So why do we...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
You hear that, Quisto? We're nice.
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Do they?
Really? Are we that famous?
Who am I then?
You
What's my
kidding?
social security number?
How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake,
I don't know
huh?
what that means,
I
but...
like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
What group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry, we're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive and we blow minds on the regular.
I like it. I like it.
You
They have
two
really
really
nice
like
personalities
to
for
gossip?
NPC.
Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that?
I
Whoa,
do want
all
to know
this
who's
info's
that.
worth something, you know?
I want to be
You
the next
should prove
Gossip
you're
Girl.
worthy of it.
I've never seen the show. I just assume that's what it's about.
Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was
Wait, is he the
super
chef?
delicious.
Why am I
Mama can still
praising
taste
the
it whenever
food?
she closes her eyes.
Is that so? To tell you the truth,
Oh,
I've been
he
helping out with making those
is.
welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious
Wait, was he the one that gave us that
steaks.
weird ass
Amazing.
meat?
You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But enough
Oh,
about
what's he
that.
doing in prison?
Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I mean, I feel like the Duke likes me a lot, no?
I know who you mean. It's that
'Cause
Jurier character, right?
He was giving us a
I don't
tour.
think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often? If you ask me, he's just faking it to get out of work.
We
But
know the
did
little
you
girl,
know
right?
that
Sigwin
Julia
is
was
always
a talented
vanishing during
researcher
the
from
lunch
the
hour or
Fontaine
whatever.
Research
So there's another
Institute
person that's
before he
going
came
inside the
here.
infirmary when she's
There's
missing?
no denying that.
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora.
He's a
Once you're in the fortress of
researcher.
Meropide, you're just another inmate
Because
like
people aren't
everybody else.
going missing, right? In the prison?
Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a fight, right? Guess that's just how terrible of a guy he is.
I don't know who that person is.
You mean he hit a
Lorvin?
woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary.
I don't know. Why do I feel like
think of
they're
it.
going to the infirmary
I
on
always see her
purpose,
going to the
right?
sick bay every couple of days, too.
Wait a second. You don't think?
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting at dates?
Wait, could they?
But it's really
Like they're
hard to
going inside
imagine.
there for some like sexy time?
After all,
No.
I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Julia to a pulp that one time. And we might be overthinking things.
Would it be?
Look, there are some people talking over there. Let's listen in on the conversation.
Isn't it like a more discreet way to listen? Like, oh yeah, see that, yeah, like that, yeah. Eat your food and
If you
pretend
ask
you're not
me,
eating.
Those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak
Yeah,
for
that guy's-
yourself, mate.
he goes to the
I'm
gym.
no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over?
The thing is,
from
like, we
nothing?
don't know why,
What kind of
like,
filthy
they're in
bilge
here,
water are you
right?
spewing?
Like, what
I
crimes
have
are they
family
being,
up
you know,
there.
convicted
You best
of?
shut your sewer hole and talk like that. Listen,
Damn.
things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your
So maybe
sentence.
Risey
Not
finished his
bad if you
sentence
ask
and he
me.
decided to just stay here and become a
Who wants
warden.
to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you? That's one of the great mysteries of the universe. how
Damn,
someone
this
as
guy's-
useless as you is so confident.
He is kind of harsh.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say? That's true.
Oh, it's Linny.
Huh?
Are we supposed to pretend like I don't know him?
That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell them we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided attention.
I still don't get why we get to wear our normal clothes when we're in prison. Because he
Never
stands
guessed that
out so
myself.
much.
The rumors
Like he's
swirling about this
literally a
place are
magician
unreliable
outfit in
after all,
prison.
And Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for.
Oh, it's kinda cool that he
Unfortunately,
calls him,
this
like,
isn't
Master
enough for our
Child,
final
like-
report to Father. We
That is
need
kind of
to find
cool.
out Master
Because he's a
Child's
harbinger,
exact
right? He's much higher
whereabouts.
ranked than Linny.
Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after it.
Your brother.
Well,
We need
when you
Fremine.
put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to fulfill our end of the bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Risley's watchful
That is kind of
eyes.
weird. Like, so Risley
Collecting information
should be
has always
watching
been
us
our strong
24/7,
point.
but yet we haven't seen
Now,
him since
let
the
me
intro.
think. To find out
Like,
more
does he actually know what we're
Fremine will
doing?
have to retrace
Because I feel like he
Master Child's
does.
original
He looks like a
route.
smart guy.
And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
God, I gotta stay in
Can you
prison for so
estimate
many
how long it'll
days.
take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too. Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping
Man, this
Fremine
feels
prepare for
more
his
and more like a
diving
heist mission than
So, you are the
a
only one.
rescue
What do you want
mission,
us to do?
right?
Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs.
All right, I'm gonna need
You
someone to
mentioned
punch me in the
several
face right now.
sketchy-looking people
I need a
always
big
meeting at the
boo-boo.
infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first. My apologies, I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger brother.
Excuse me?
That's
I'm
not
way
a bad
older than
thing,
you.
Right? All right, then we'll head out as soon as
I'm
we
literally
finish
like
our
500 years old,
Let's go our
minimum.
separate ways for now then.
You're like 12.
Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days. Stay safe.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Oh, is that the guy and the girl? Wait. And the head nurse.
So, it's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person?
Yeah, let's try to catch some PG-13 action.
Someone, please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
No, I got the runs.
What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do. Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion.
Oh no, he has diarrhea.
Let me take a look. Please lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
I'm surprised like you can't just fake it, you know?
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
I'm kind of
I
nervous.
see now. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way. Eh? Oh, that's good. But I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here?
I mean, I would have thought it'd be better if someone just punched them, right? That'd be more...
Based on my
You can't really
initial
fake
checkup,
that.
There shouldn't be a problem here. How strange.
Oh no, yeah, she knows, right?
What about here? I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's
Oh
all.
yeah.
Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is.
Yeah, nothing serious.
Goodness, it's not anything more serious. And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently.
Wait,
I'll
is it?
inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, if this problem
Is everyone
soon as
else complaining
possible.
about the food because they were eating that weird ass
Congratulations.
meat?
The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you?
And now she's
Miss
gonna give me the
Levine,
real
I'll have to trouble
diarrhea.
you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
Okay, those two are the sussy people, right? That were here when she's leaving. Unless I feel like she's on to me.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Great. Okay, not great.
His stomachache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
Is there no doctor in
It
this
also
area?
looks
Like they say a
she's
head
the
nurse.
only medic you've got
A head
down
nurse
here.
is not a doctor, right? Where's the doctor?
Well, that's true.
Shouldn't there be
What
like
do you mean
a
that's true?
I Baiju
That's
in
really
Fontaine?
misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know? Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result.
Oh,
they
I think I
still
know what's
a thing
happening,
or
guys.
two
I think I know
about
what's
medicine,
happening.
And they help Miss Sijuin take care
Some
of the sick and
doctor is
injured.
killing inmates because they think all criminals
you're
are
right.
useless.
But did you have to
They don't
lecture
serve
me about it
society.
in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
His voice is the most,
That's correct.
like, you know, actually nerdy voice I've ever heard.
Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two also sick?
Think about
We've
bullshit.
been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines
His
Miss
voice!
Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her, you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now, please. Keep it
They're
civil,
fighting like lovers. No. I think it's all fake. And behind closed doors, they make out all the time. What is that?
Hey,
It's like a gap there.
there's
They're
no need to
leaving.
fight. Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things like this.
But
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation.
How do I get them to leave
Oh,
so
and
I
Mr.
can
Jurier,
go inside that
I will
hatch?
see your face here again anytime.
Should I just
Same
like
to you,
just
Miss
let out a big fart?
Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
Are you gonna follow
It's
him?
just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with
Wait,
weird
what
research topics
weird
as he
research
is?
topic is she talking about?
I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Seashween should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine. No, it's
I don't
nothing.
know, man. I feel like she knows that I'm
Did you
fake.
rest
Oh
like
shit,
you
what's she giving
promised?
me?
Thank you for getting our
She's
medicine.
gonna give me
Miss Seashween.
laxatives to mess
Did
with
you
me.
all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take one pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
Wait, what? Why is she asking?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow.
Wait, what? I don't. Did I pass out and I didn't know?
These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
See ya!
Or is the head nurse drugging all of us and we don't know?
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double check a few details, if that's all right with you. Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest?
Yeah.
I can answer the questions instead.
Yeah.
So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds?
At this
No,
point, I
his
would have been
base
take the
constitution
meds.
is quite
Like
good,
it's.
So I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night. Got it. Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure.
Yeah, it's sussy.
You're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest. We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super strong. So you're the best of companions.
Why is the volume so
Don't worry,
low?
He'll recover soon.
Like, am I further where my? Oh, I'm dreaming.
You're awake.
How'd that even pass out?
Phew. You slept for a really long time, but we never left. Well, now you can go back without a
But that's the
worry in
bad thing.
world.
We want them to
Remember
leave
take
so
your
we can
meds
investigate the
regularly.
hatch.
And remember, bland foods. Thank you, Miss Seashween. You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the
Sleep
entire time,
talk?
You scared Paimon half to death. No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, don't take my grilled fish, and put down the accept this temptation now. Paimon talked
Why would
with
I say
Sichuan
that?
the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse.
No,
and
you know
Paimon
what it
didn't
is?
notice
I bet
anything
you
unusual in the room.
she
Are you
did
sure we're
something
not
that
going off track with the infirmary?
like, it's like a truth serum. Like they want you to spill the truth. Or maybe, oh, you know what it is? Maybe it's like a gas, right? You know, like a gas leak.
Whoa, you really are super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to give the info to Linny.
But what I'm curious about is did Paimon fall under those symptoms too? Because remember, like even the primordial seawater didn't affect Paimon at all. So because I think the traveler got affected by whatever was happening in that room. Because we didn't hear anything about her taking a yellow pill or why she has to take it. Wait. Oh. Am I supposed to pretend like I don't know her? Am I supposed to say anything or just a nod? What the hell? That's so obvious. If I see two people nodding, I'm gonna assume they know each other.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated
No, I
the
think I
infirmary.
did.
We've
Yeah,
taken
I
a
think
look at the slip you
Siegwin or
sent.
whatever is
Fremine
onto us.
successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago. And as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
Oh, wait. Or, dude, okay.
You already
Another
went above
crazy
and beyond when you
theory.
scoped out the infirmary. To put it
Maybe
more bluntly,
whatever that was
even if we
happening
were
to the
view
traveler,
that as
right?
something you did in exchange for
It didn't
Fremine's
actually
help,
make us spill the
you've already
truth,
done
right?
more than enough.
But if they do it to
Infiltrating a guarded
Linny, she
stronghold is
will,
a different kind of
you know,
job
she
from a
will
one-off
spill the truth.
investigation.
Because
We
maybe
want
like
to
whatever
avoid
method
using
they're
the same
doing only
faces
works on
over and
people in
over and
Fontaine.
reduce the amount of suspicion that will
Does that
fall
make
on
sense?
any
Like, you know,
given
like the
person.
primordial seawater only
Lynette
works on people in
also felt
Fontaine.
like you have already taken
But the
first
traveler
step
and
forward,
Paimon
so
are not
she
from
should be the one
Fontaine,
to
so like they
finish the
maybe
job.
have like a higher tolerance.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According
Now
to my
or never?
observations, Sijuin always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should be a good time to meet up with her. Also,
I have a bad
I'm her
feeling.
brother, remember?
I have
It's
a bad
only natural
feeling.
for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Okay, then
Man,
let's
if
head
only
over
I
right
care about the
away.
traveler's twin as much as Linny does.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange. Lynette?
As expected,
Unless she
Sijuin
went to
isn't
the
here, but
hatch
why isn't
or
Lynette here?
No,
They
Lynette
kidnapped
rarely
her.
deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
we got
Let's
kidnapped.
see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay,
No. Yeah, I'm thinking whatever that was going on did not affect the traveler that much. Like we were saying stuff, but it doesn't actually make us spill the real truth.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like, advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions, and the meaning of laughter. These
Seems
sure are some
Really
interesting books.
stereotypical doctor stuff,
Who knew
maybe?
Sijuin would be interested in these kinds of things? She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melazine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Okay, the bed.
None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be sick.
she would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest while she left to retrieve the medication. Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
No, I was right. I was right.
Ah, this is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
But it's true. It's like just sticking up. Like they want us to see it?
The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
I mean, it's your sister. Shouldn't you be the one panicking? Oh, yeah.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards."
Did Lynette write that?
Is that all?
It doesn't really... That sounds so weird. It doesn't really tell us anything.
This is...
Show me, now!
That look on your face.
Is it Lynette's handwriting?
Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No.
Oh, it's like a... It's like a ransom note or something.
Honestly, did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, Risley wrote that?
He was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Well, it makes sense though, right? Like, you know, don't interfere so you can see exactly what we're doing the entire time.
He doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Risley. We're a completely different story, though.
Yeah.
I'd like to know that too. Why did he only go after her?
Because you're Harbingers, right? Harbingers always have a bad rep. I mean, not Harbingers, Fatui. Fatui.
This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds. Could Risley have let him go as well?
Then if that's true, then does that mean like he even actually let Child escape as well? Like everything is according to his plan.
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it.
I'm more curious about like how do we know for sure Risley
We never
wrote
should have
that?
sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Risley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Slap him.
Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I was the one who failed to protect them. I'll go talk to Risley.
I mean, is that really what's happening? Like he just has them hostage?
Talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
Yikes. Plans might be ruining.
He's rushed out the door. After him.
Oh, they actually want me to stop him. She was here the entire time? What the fuck? What the fuck? We didn't check? Why is she smiling?
Right. I feel like we still have some
Why is she smiling?
challenges on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time.
Wait, the mastermind is her and not Risley.
is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help!
Oh man, she knew.
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's
That
wrong,
is
little
so
friend? There's no need
creepy.
to panic. Take a deep breath before
He's like a
you
little
begin.
psycho.
Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
So Risey has nothing to do with this?
It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
He
I
doesn't know.
ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette.
Damn, why did he mention my name?
As for
Damn
Fremini,
it.
no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate.
Wait, there was
Fremini has also
previous.
fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
What?
He's not. What do you really...
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me. Eager and to the point, I
Hello?
see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any
He's
kind of
stuck in
custody.
there.
So where do you think he may be right now?
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremini's a star diver, so he should
I mean,
be
doesn't he
fine,
still
right?
need X amount of oxygen?
No, we're still here, so he'd definitely try to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating.
Dude,
Besides,
he's so
I do
like...
recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette
He's like
that
so
you've always
calculating.
wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
So...
No more games, right?
you've been
It's just like,
keeping
now
tabs on
all
us
the cards on the
before we
table.
even set foot in the
We're gonna
fortress.
talk.
Some of my folks just happen to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, The cards are stacked against you right
What is in the
Miss
Forbidden
Lynette
Zone? I want
is
to
in
know
my
now.
hands, and Mr. Fremenet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You
It
need
only
do
makes
but
me
one
like
thing to
Risley even
guarantee their
more.
safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
I mean, I
wanna
get
see Father?
Risley's, you know,
But why should she bother giving you an audience?
I get his goal, right? He
Well,
runs this place. Why
If
would he
she
want the
cares
Fraternity
for
to
the
do whatever they want
well-being of her
here?
dearest children, she should
So I
have
feel like
plenty
he's
of
only
motivation to join
protecting
me for a
what's
parents'
his.
evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
I mean, that's only if
Why did you think Father sent us to
that's
handle the
only
fortress
if
of Merope?
she actually even
This
sees
place
them
is
as
basically
family
a
and not
no-man's
just
land.
pawns to
It
use.
wouldn't be fitting for anyone
But
as
there's a very good
important as
chance that
harbinger
the
like Father
knave
to
is
come here
actually
in
straight up
person.
evil.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr.
I mean,
Linney,
yeah, what they're trying to
you have
investigate is
one
if
last chance to invite
if
your
the
father here.
Gnosis is really here,
If you
right? Or
refuse.
whatever.
Linny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective?
Yeah, actually,
first?
right? I don't actually think he's a bad guy at all.
From
If
the very
anything,
beginning,
we're
the
messed up
Fatui has
because,
been actively infiltrating my
you know, if we
fortress.
really want to know,
I
we
gave
should have
you
just
a
been
warning by cutting off the
we
first
should have
two
just been
optics
like
I
upfront
found,
with
but
him
that
about
only
why
caused you
we're
to double
here.
down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5,
They're like the seconds.
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already
Oh,
done
so
my
he
best
knew.
to
He
stay
knew
out
I
of
wasn't
your way.
actually okay.
But
He's
that
been
doesn't mean
known.
you can just do whatever you want. The
Uh,
fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found?
might as well.
I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them
Oh
correctly.
shit!
and
He's
I'll
gonna
agree
test
to your
my
request.
memory.
Question 1.
Uh-oh, I was a terrible student in
Regarding
school.
the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Ah, so that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work
Wait,
3 days
did you
in
just-
a row. and
did
if
you
they
put on
do,
that
they'll
mask
get
again?
Strange meat in their welfare meal. At first, we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can
Oh,
use the
she's the
stamina
one that
boost.
cooks it for stamina.
Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise
So she only does it for people who
gift
are
and doesn't
extra
want anyone to
hardworking.
find out about what she does.
Did it even taste good? I don't even realize.
Unfortunately, Melazines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense cosmetics is.
Oh, so
even
that's
more
why the
alien
meat was
to
looking
us.
mad weird.
The
Like something I wouldn't even
recipients
eat
of her
even if they
lovingly
paid me
prepared
to.
special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well.
Oh,
It's
so
nice
she's
to know that her
not a
efforts have not
psycho.
gone
Okay.
unacknowledged. All right.
But that
now for my
smile
next
was
question.
creepy, no?
There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight. Why is that?
Alright, time to brute force this bad boy.
Ah, Paimon gets this rule too now, so there really was nothing to be afraid of. That hidden rule of the Pancration Ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange, blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff.
Oh,
were
so they're like
questioning
doing
the
trial
company's
runs in the
decision-making.
prison
The
to see if it'll
company,
sell
facing
well.
backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received by customers. They came to
Wow,
the
all of this
fortress
is only
therapy
telling me how
and
awesome
offered
prison
to
is.
sponsor the
There's nothing to be
Pancration
afraid
tournament
of.
so
It's
they
just a
could push
grand
their
old
new
time.
product.
Everyone
But
should go to
the Duke
prison.
completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fanta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two
Wait,
opposing
but then
sides of the same
we
match
also bet on two
were
people.
selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words, I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind. You'll pay for this! Ah!
What happened? What was that? Someone shot him in the back?
Hey, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sijuin. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sijuin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Why is it like not a
as I just
cutscene?
demonstrated.
Lane.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come
Just a
here,
gun?
he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sijuin, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me 1 minute?
Yeah, you're dying,
like
but just let me
that,
finish
Your
my
Grace.
speech.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go
Ooh.
get a cup of tea. Miss Sijuin.
Oh my god, would it, dude, would it be the knave?
What are you doing?
Or is it Farina and...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Whoa!
Space, please.
I didn't expect her.
Miss Clarande. My door.
Fremine.
Oh, she found him outside.
Remedy!
What's going on? What is Claire doing here?
Work.
Work.
I'm sorry about
What is she
straining you,
doing
Mr. Lenny.
here?
The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse.
Wait,
He must
from
have
the
consumed
outside?
primordial seawater.
What did you say?
How?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough
But he
checkup.
didn't dissolve
Your
into
Grace,
water,
I'll
right? Is it
leave
like
the rest to you.
synth? It's like
I'll talk to
primordial
Floran while
seawater
you get
mixed with
Fremine to
regular
where he
water?
needs to be. Everything else can wait.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lenny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
But the seawater was inside that cave.
The abandoned zone at the end
It's
of the
getting
pipes.
bigger and bigger?
A good distance into the water.
Somewhere else?
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Damn, this man is always about tea.
If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Man is like Asian or
Fine,
something.
I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I already made it?
Bro,
Might
just
as well
like my
then,
parents.
I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
How is
So he's fine, right? He's like, he didn't turn into
The
water.
symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Still, his condition is not critical. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more. Sorry.
Aww.
I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her.
Dude, she tranquilizes
If her
everybody.
calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Man, this place is not so bad, you know? Snacks and treats.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure?
Damn, they failed their mission though.
Look alright.
I wonder if father
My
is gonna be
hands and
pissed.
feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon,
Whoa,
you're
she's
here
like,
too.
I feel like it's the first time that we hear her
Lemonade.
voice sound so happy.
Is he...
Because her voice always sounded like she's so,
But for now,
I don't
please
know,
help me lift him
done
up.
with life. Is he fine? Oh, he passed out.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
I mean, not really. I want to hear what Chlorine or Chlorine.
Duke and Clarande are gone.
Oh, that's what I want to talk
Get
about.
some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande.
So I'm guessing we're all
since she only just
investigating the
returned from
same thing,
rescuing
actually,
Fremine
right?
off the
Everyone.
sea.
Like like us, Risley. First person Genshin.
He's awake. Fremine, how do you feel?
Lynette.
We're all here.
Man, they are one big family.
Where am I?
The infirmary at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine, and you are no longer in any danger. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
He's gonna explain how he got the water?
Traveler. Paimon. It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about
Oh,
it
that's
after you
crazy though.
recover.
It's like if the primordial sea is actually in the
This is
seawater,
really
that's
serious.
everywhere.
There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all
Has to do
coming
with
back to me
Trial, no? Because Trial went through the pipes. But then, did Trial know there was primordial seawater there, or? Oh, this is like a recollection?
now. I'm in.
There's a deep drop.
Where could Master Child be? This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child
And that
probably
is
dived into
that
the water.
all primordial seawater?
I'll go take... The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here.
Do you imagine Child dissolve into water?
Wait. What the...
Oh, so here is where the primordial seawater is.
My heart is racing, and it's getting
Wouldn't this
harder
also
and
affect
harder to
Child, or
breathe.
no?
What's going on?
Like, Child should not be immune to this, right? He's also a vision holder, same as Femine.
I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Damn, he could have drowned.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater.
That's actually kind of scary. And then Chlorine saves her?
Have to
No?
push on.
Yeah, it is. Damn, badass. Ah, scammed.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
I mean, the only thing where that's possible is if he dissolved into water as well.
I tried my
right?
best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress.
That's the only thing I can think of. He
and I
dissolved
just
into
couldn't
water.
Find the strength to keep
Because if he
going.
died there, we would have saw his body.
I probably passed out some time after that. And you know the rest.
Miss
But I
Clarande
also
brought
don't
you
think a
back,
playable character
but we
would
also
die
don't
though,
know why
right?
she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
Can't wait till she's
Guest.
playable.
Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Liddy?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny,
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Alright, it's time to talk. Spill the beans.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegewien?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
So the water was just on that little
I'd like
tip,
to
right?
perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now then.
Man. Looks...
Well,
He looks like an
want to
amazing
explain
character.
yourself wisely?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin?
He does talk like a king,
How about
which is
you
kind of crazy.
start
Like,
by
Your
asking
Grace,
me any
enlighten.
questions you have. You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Oh, I can choose?
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
I feel like he should have at least been suspicious, right? Like, you know, Fatui in my prison.
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to
I just
investigate
noticed, like,
child's disappearance.
doesn't he have like a bunch of
Many
scars, like,
suggested that
run
I had
underneath
deliberately
his
let
like
him
neck?
escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured
he doesn't
I might as
know.
well let the Fatui do their own.
Because it doesn't
investigative
make
work.
sense, right?
All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise.
Now that's the biggest
The
mystery.
Forbidden Zone is always
So like what? Is the seawater gonna be everywhere all over? No, the primordial seawater.
I began to intervene out of concern
It's
for
gonna be
your safety,
everywhere in Fontaine?
and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true that you're also a former criminal?
I was gonna ask that.
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to
What
the
is she, like
fortress for
a-
some field work.
What is she, like a mercenary?
As a
She just
champion
goes wherever you
duelist,
pay her?
Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally
Oh, I thought she
capable
works
person to help me get through the
directly for
impending crisis.
Farina. Because she's always by her side.
Fremonet was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
My dude, just tell me.
All I
We're
need to
all in
prove
this
to
together,
you
you know?
is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremonet.
That only makes it more likely that they're hiding the Gnosis in the Forbidden Zone,
A
right?
bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yes.
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Yes.
Follow me.
Oh, he's gonna actually show us. Didn't see that coming.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
We're descending even further down.
So, this...
Whoa, why is it so bright here?
Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone.
Now
Am
I don't
correct
think
to
the
assume you're
Gnosis is
going
here,
to
right?
run
If the
on
Gnosis
back
is
and
here,
tell
he
your
wouldn't
little
just show it
tree
to
friends
us.
everything?
It must be something else here then.
Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look.
Okay, he's leading. I was like, if he just told me to go, I won't go. Oh, that's so bright.
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it.
Beyond the
also be
gate,
risky
so...
and negligent to simply
So he didn't
ignore
make
any
this, it was already here
potential danger that
before.
could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year,
I can't see
the needle
anything,
has
I'm being
crept upwards
flashbanged.
from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
The primordial seawater.
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both
Okay,
of
I'm
those
wrong.
as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial seawater?
Oh, I was
and that
right!
is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes, that's very likely.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak.
Wait, then the cave isn't the original source of the
Seems like
seawater?
you figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate.
Oh.
For some reason, the primordial
So
seawater
this
levels
gate
have
was to
risen
contain it,
significantly,
or to stop
and
it
it's
from
now
flowing
very
out.
close to us. The indicators are now.
Oh my god, I can't see shit.
Although the gate still stands,
What the
some
hell,
primordial
dude?
seawater has already leaked out and mixed
It's
into the
actually a
sea
forbidden
around
gate.
us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a
So
night.
his job is literally to stop the apocalypse. But I don't think he knows how.
Too weird.
It looks like just a pile of gold, if I'm being honest.
The sluice gate for the primordial sea. Who built?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
What do you
It's
mean?
just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to
Wait,
live here.
what?
When the previous
So this thing has been here since the
Hydro-Archon
beginning?
Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a
Oh,
wolf
did the
pack, chasing away
did the
banished.
original Hydro Archon make
Criminals
this
received no
prison to
sympathy of
stop
any
this?
kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret deep."
What happened to the
underneath
Hydro Archon? She
waves."
died?
And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress.
So this wasn't even originally meant to be a
Community
prison.
down there in the deeps.
It was just meant to
And over
stop
the
that from
years,
flowing
helped it
out.
to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors.
Oh.
The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent.
So they kind of
Now
forget
and
the
again,
purpose of this place then.
Researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every
Does
part of that
Nevu,
history
does
is
Neverlet
true.
and Farina know about this? Like the history?
It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
I mean, at this point, I think the
Prophecies
prophecy has to happen, right? For the sake of the
Just
story.
hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third. Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
The Gnosis. Maybe?
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lorvine and
Experiments?
Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about
Ah,
any of this?
damn, dude, not having
I'm
sexy
skeptical
time.
as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
At who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not a local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Why?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
Oh ho ho!
See, everyone keeps asking this question.
Oh,
Are you two sure you're not a couple?
am I
and just
right? I
using
was
your
right.
work
I was
as a
right.
Convenient cover.
Your Grace, I am
No,
not
I'm
in a
100%
relationship
right.
with this
They were
man.
doing it.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
The tension is undeniable.
Forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What is that? Is that like an underground city?
What a huge...
Oh, it's a ship.
This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Nothing.
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate...
Oh, he's just gotta take everyone in Fontaine, just dip ass?
Inspired by the
Like
Fortuna?
Noah's Ark?
Maybe.
Ain't no way.
Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
Can
Were the
everyone
workers to
fit
find
there?
out
That
the truth
That's a lot of
behind this
people.
ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat.
He's almost like Zhongli. It's
have any other
always,
questions?
osmanthus wine,
Seems like
osmanthus
you're good.
wine, but for him it's tea,
Come on, I'll take
tea,
you back.
tea.
I'll leave you here for now.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Are they talking about like Linny and stuff?
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Are they talking about the couple?
Must have been Risley and Seashrew.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other, so let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the fortress of
Okay.
Merapede.
Very smart.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
I don't have to tell him anything.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably
Oh my
had
God, are we
noticed it
still not
first
gonna
because
know where
was
he
hoping we
went?
could find Master Child for him. What's more, the fortress of Merapede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no man's
Yeah, he's
land.
basically like a king, like
As long
underneath,
as the
right?
fortress
Or like, you
doesn't do
know,
anything
Farina
about
is the
Master
king
Child's
above.
disappearance,
He's the king
Father
underneath.
can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Okay, he doesn't need my help. He just knows it.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out.
I mean, just... assume he's doing something good.
There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see.
Yeah, it's a big glowing light that blinds
you. It could
you.
be important enough for Father to deal with him.
Should have wore sunglasses.
I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But
do I tell him? No, I can't tell him.
He's have the last piece of the puzzle.
Oh, I tell him? I don't want to tell him.
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could
I
be
mean,
why
the
he
Father
said he
isn't
just
even
wanted
here
to
for that, right? The Father is here just for the Gnosis.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Like, we don't even know if the Father really cares about any of them.
Well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our Father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time.
Can we actually do that?
Though you may not share
I don't know
the
where it's located at.
After all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
Damn, my family's getting big, you know?
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
I wasn't!
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Oh god.
Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare
Oh, can I talk to her?
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey.
The best food you got.
Today, so you can
Ramen.
get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
I don't think I like that. Like, she's like always analyzing our expressions.
Or to better understand
Oh, she's a Hydro user.
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
That is kind of weird. Like, okay, so they're not the only species in Teyvat that are half human, half whatever, right? Why can't they see? Why can't they understand our emotions?
You're reminded of an
Like, I don't feel like Diona or any of those like half human stuff, right? Have that problem.
Risley's office. When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well.
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time.
Wouldn't the water eventually get into everyone's supply? Because they're all using the water, correct? They have to wash and stuff.
After his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Florand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervulette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here.
Why would Nervulette like
all
it?
The darkness and chaos. Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
I am curious how Nervulette and Risey and her all know each other so well.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy.
Now it's like a normal sleep. We're not getting... Paimon snores? And when Paimon sleeps, she doesn't fly?
Paimon wants seconds for free.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running? No, I
Oh, did it burst?
Stop asking!
Wait, did the water burst out?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep. What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Qui's still in Lavaroon. Do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly
Oh,
wrong.
it must be. It probably
Grace
burst
is
it.
telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Oh no, it can't be that.
Wow, why did it happen so soon though?
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
Oh, we're going down there?
We have to go find the Duke. You two just go and get out. Go on.
Man, those guys are pretty nice though. They actually came to warn us.
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Oh, it's not bright light anymore.
They're here.
Just like I said.
Why now?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
What is he doing? Is he gonna one punch man it? Oh, and that's all primordial seawater. Oh shit! I didn't even know that was an option. Is it not enough? Oh no, it's not enough! Oh shit! Dude, what can they do?
3, 2, 1.
Oh, just a gun! Dude, bastard, you slide! Call of Duty slide! Oh, dude, this is so badass.
This won't hold it for long. Find
His
Nuvillette.
punches are like
Tell him the
projectiles.
defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Who's he? Neuvillette?
The gate. How long do you
Well,
think
what can
it'll
she
hold?
do? She's not cryo.
That
She's
depends
electro.
on us.
Oh my god, it would be awesome if we can play as them right now. And like stop the gate. Oh, that is so cool.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the Knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
I don't
Will do.
understand
You
why.
have my sincerest gratitude.
There's like Fatui's and Fontaine people here.
Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there. The Knave is probably here already.
And she probably knows who I
Are
am.
you two the Traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
I mean, she kind of accused me, so... I mean, I'm not petty. I'm just saying. Why is she so scared? She's the Hydra Archon. Oh, dude, her expression changed.
Oh,
Like,
so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion
she's like
would be too
codependent. She can't do
lonely
anything
and
alone.
Unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have
Oh, I
heard
like her
much of
design a
your
lot. It's so elegant.
I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Limited edition.
There are only 16
Whoa.
slices sold every day.
I'm not eating it. You might
Here.
poison it.
Why don't you?
Don't eat it, my dude.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and
Ah, child. He's been snitching on me.
I wonder how
Unless he's
doing
lying.
nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Oh, dude, she's lying
Since
always.
we're
Then.
talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His
Because doesn't
martial prowess
nobody
really
trust the
looked
Knave? Like, they said, like,
certainly
if
pretty
anyone's a
impressive.
traitor, Knave will be the traitor.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Neuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my
It just feels like
colleague would
everything
never
that,
be on the
that
back
comes out of the
foot.
Knave's mouth is a lie.
But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of
Let me
course,
do the
but it's
talking,
still a bit of
Farina.
a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Me?
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence
Is that something we should be telling her?
Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Oh, shit.
Well,
Shut up, Paimon. Damn
the
it!
fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he
So that
perhaps
means,
ran
like,
out of the
if
main
anything, there's a
gate,
way
he must
in
have
and
had to
out,
swim for
right?
it.
From
Do you
somewhere.
have any proof that he surfaced safely?
And that might be how she's gonna get in.
Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
What the? She's... And, like... She's basically reading everything. Like, things that are private.
Letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written.
Or it can also
or
seem
how
like
it's
like she's
worded.
threatening Chio's family.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
What does that mean? What is he gonna do?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Does the primordial seawater not affect him?
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow.
Eh?
So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess.
You're the Hydro Archon.
Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
But this still
Sounds
isn't a
about
good
right.
sign. It means like it's getting worse, right? Unless he's somehow cleansing it. What? Are you serious? Oh.
Day
How
may
is he
come
pushing it
when
back?
The prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day. This
Wait a
ancient
minute.
power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Whoa! How is he doing this? Oh, he put a new seal on it. It's like... Yeah, it's like a ward. Like a spell ward.
This is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
Wait, so it was this day that everyone is supposed to die? Well, Nebula kind of badass.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I
Man,
win this
can we
bet.
even fight prophecy
You owe
though?
me a present.
It's prophecy, man. Destiny.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
What?
You made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
Well, you know what this reminds me of? Like, you know how I hate them,
already has
Kave and
tons of tea in
Tainari and
his
Sainu are
office.
friends?
I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That
Are those
wouldn't
two
happen to be
friends?
a dig
Close
at my
friends?
lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure his
'Cause I'm
grace
getting that
doesn't
vibe.
consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Why? Like, he has to be there physically?
I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
Or just because he's so busy, he has to have a lot of work there?
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden.
Fight that logic.
Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything
But
to
it could just be
saving their
like
homeland.
a way to guilt trip her to
But
giving her what
you-
she wants, right?
It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
Let's go.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them?
It seems like the knave is a master
How are the
manipulator.
people you've sworn to protect supposed to
Like
survive in a
emotionally,
land that will
actually,
soon
not like just like, you
disappear
know,
beneath the waves?
physically or whatever.
Have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me.
Hey, yo.
Fontaine
Let's go.
will be saved.
She's standing up for herself.
Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is
Oh my
it
god, is that the
doing
whole
to help?
plan to get her to reveal?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourself are unable to
Beings like
perceive them
yourself.
as of yet.
Non-Archon,
I
simple
see.
humans.
As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes.
Ooh. The
Allow me
eyes
to
are
be so
very
bold
interesting.
as to
Like,
ask
it's like
another
two
way.
X's.
Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
What the? Why is she like that? It's like sometimes she's so confident and sometimes she's just like a little kid.
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
Well, I thought it was just a battery, right?
It's just like it
For
appears to be.
energy?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great
Oh man, she's working on
Hydro
nothing? Like actually nothing?
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's
Cryo
exactly
disappeared,
right.
and then,
Please keep it a secret for me.
you know,
Of course I
the
will.
water's leaking out.
Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well.
Is it
Let's
possible
stop
that she is the one triggering the leak?
There are still
To
a few
force
slices of
Farina
cake
to admit
left.
something or do
So
something?
please, help yourselves, everyone.
'Cause it seems like she was expecting it, that thing to be shaking.
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You
No,
too,
man.
Paimon.
We recently been getting poisoned a lot whenever we eat these kind of weird food.
On that offer.
Oh, we did eat it.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
No. Oh, man. Am I just being, you know, paranoid? I feel like something's up with the food.
Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must
Yeah, I
go
like
my
that.
way.
Paimon's coming too.
Let me talk to you real quick.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are
Why is she like this? Why is she like this?
If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
Ah,
You
now
lent
she's
your
showing her
aid to
real
the children
face.
of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
I didn't expect that.
I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there.
Yo, I
and
love her
trust your
design so
judgment and
much.
abilities.
Oh my god. Please don't die. I need to have you.
All they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
Cloud Chaser, Two-Faced.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems
That is,
more
yeah,
like
that
a
is really
celebrity than
weird.
a
Like she
working
doesn't really act like an Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you.
What is happening? Is she playing with a cat?
You dare to run from me?
What is happening?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. but I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter.
And is that her in disguise?
Making anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, so she doesn't have the gnosis.
In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
Whoa, she could have killed her right there.
I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination.
Does she know that was, you know, the knave that attacked her?
Mention this incident to anyone.
Is that why she was so scared about the previous history or whatever?
My informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to
So she has no power, like literally.
There's no doubt that there's
it's not even that she's
something
weak, she just has no power, right? She can't even defend herself.
The possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps
there's no way Neuvillette is the Hydro Archon. There's no fucking way.
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette
No, there must be something to it.
correct,
Maybe they split
he
two
is
souls.
probably in possession of it.
Is that possible?
Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for
Like they're
ordinary
both the
people
Hydro
to
Archon, but they're
access.
split apart. One has the
Yes,
power,
Father.
one has like.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro
Oh
Archon
man.
and
Well, we
Eudex
know.
Neuvillette.
We already know Neuvillette is mad strong.
Oh, and I have
So
an
he could be the
additional
Hydro
mission
Archon.
for you three.
But I didn't see
Yes,
a
Father.
vision or anything on that dude.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Eudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
So she doesn't have the gnosis. She's not even strong.
You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever
Yeah, she can't ever admit it, right? Because if she admit it, she'll be weak. She's not the real Archon or whatever.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Eudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty.
But the thing is, like, everyone says,
over my years of service,
you know,
I've
Farina is the
learned how a
Hydro
real
Archon.
Archon conducts and
That's what people
carries
believe.
themselves. Whether Eudex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth.
Oh yeah, she is from Fontaine, right? So the primordial seawater could indeed affect her as well.
Looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must
I do wonder,
survive
like,
in
does she
order
even
to
care
do
about Fontaine
anything
like that?
else.
Like, she works for the
Should the need
Archon,
arise,
right? Like,
I would be happy to cooperate
but does
with
she
you.
actually care about Fontaine?
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve.
Yeesh, we're gonna
And
work
as your
more with
name is
her?
often connected with
Sign me
noble
up.
deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
This is the first time we had such a long, like, I don't know, a talk. We've been hoping here.
For now,
Like an
yes,
actual conversation,
but this
you know?
issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
So now he knows that she tried to attack Farina.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
I think all she wants to do is to find out who has the Gnosis, right?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right?
Come on, spill
But
it.
that's just a speculation on our part, though. You
No?
can't tell us? Then
I mean, we think he's the Hydro Dragon.
we can talk about something else. We won't try to force you.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I,
guys.
then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
Oh, interesting.
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Yeah, because he's crying, my dude. What do you mean? The Dragon of Water once resided in Fontaine. Every time he cries, the sky will rain.
You may be
so okay,
closer
yeah.
to the truth than you think.
Oh, he knows it too. He he is the Hydro Dragon.
Thinking. The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not.
But can the Hydro Dragon not be an Archon? Is that not allowed?
Farina?
Like, I knew Archons are like part of Celestia, and sovereigns were before Celestia was even a thing. But can they not be a thing now? Because he's human now, right?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or
My
deny...
dude.
You guessed correctly.
Okay, yeah, he's
I
confirming. He's
sincerely hope you'll
confirming.
be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret.
I don't know, man. Paimon can't really keep a secret.
Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
Oh, good question,
None
Paimon.
of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
None?
They say
Not
that when
even
the first
a pep?
usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7
Part of the
natural
Archon's power actually come from the original dragons?
The dragon sovereign of water
So they're
who
split.
lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority.
What does that mean? Does that mean she has to
Given
die?
the status quo, however, I would recommend
Like,
finding
if
another way
Farina
to deal with
dies, the power will be returned to him fully?
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more
Whoa.
questions regarding ancient
That's a
history,
massive lore
you're
drop.
welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that
Then that
Paimon
means
wants
there was
to
a
go to.
Geo Sovereign too, right? And then that power split between Zhongli.
Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Hey yo, good for
How
you.
did she react?
An introvert doing some extrovert.
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all.
I guess it's
she
not,
also
right?
told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father?
And she was
Did she say anything
badass.
to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic.
I don't know. Like,
You should believe her. She has her own way of
she just
doing
seems like
things,
she's
and
like a
she'll do
she's like
everything in her power
a
to
what do you
help
call
those
it?
she
Like
considers
a
close, which
not a
now might
manipulator,
also
but like
include you.
a schemer.
Father is very capable and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just
Trustworthy.
remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Like, I just want, like, I'm more curious about does the Nave's relationship with them genuine?
Excellent. I will
Does
host
she
a
actually
tea
care
party.
about them?
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Sijwin!
Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries.
Yeah, I would have thought like it's time to dip. No, you still gonna stay here? Doesn't that mean the water can break out at any time again?
Crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Nervalet know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervalet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the
I
injuries of the
wonder how many
wounded.
people actually know that he's a hydro
About
dragon.
how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both all right. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a
You want me to stay in prison for a few more days? I will. It's awesome here.
Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Damn, she's actually really cute. If she's not a psycho, she's really cute. Dude, I like these two a
You
lot.
guys are back?
Like they're funny and they saved our life, right? Or not save, but they're warning us. You know, I like that.
Get caught and thrown back down here, right?
They're good guys.
No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the
Well,
commotion.
they don't know that we can
I'd held you
teleport
up as
out whenever
legendary
we feel like
jailbreakers,
it.
But now you're telling me you just never left?
We're sorry, but we just had some business to do.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also
They're like so
transferred to
goofy,
work
like
in
in
the
in
kitchen
a
a few
very
days ago.
adorable
I
way.
can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals, is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
I feel like the gossip are just like for fun, right? To keep it entertaining in here.
First met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
They're so nice.
Jurier, Miss Sijween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for...
I told you they were a couple.
You two.
Jurier, Lurvine, we're back!
She was worried about him.
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
Why?
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
Oh.
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship,
Yes, Paimon, yes.
Not at all!
That's why they like the infirmary, because it gives them privacy.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see 2 inmates come back after making it to the surface?
Can't leave until I wish for you.
Blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sijween's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift
Do
from Miss
we
Sijween.
get some gifts?
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead.
You gave her lipstick?
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sijween worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies.
Hey, yo.
Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sijween too?
What could it be?
They're from yours truly.
Oh, from
You've already
him!
wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real?
Damn, we can stay whenever we want.
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Fire.
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
That was awesome.
We're back in our
I
cell
wonder if
again.
we're gonna have another
We're no
dream
longer
of
prisoners,
Child.
though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
Like, because, that's what happened last time.
Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did anything bad to begin with, so I'm not sure why we put so much pressure on ourselves. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo
I did
after all.
all the work.
It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just 2 people, but
Man, this
we've
is...
still been solving
This is...
problems
I don't know.
no
I
matter
don't like
where
this
we go.
conversation.
Isn't that pretty cool?
It sounds like a goodbye conversation.
You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward.
Weren't she always? She's always with me.
Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, traveler.
I'm gonna dream, right? I bet you I'm gonna dream. No? Oh, I am. Wait. He's like He's drowning in the water? It's the whale. It's the thing that he keeps saying he sees, like when he was in the abyss. What does it mean? He disappeared and we don't know where he went. Is there a chance that he somehow through the primordial sea or whatever that thing was, he teleported back into the abyss and that's where he is? I think Child is causing the primordial seawater to rise. When he was in the abyss, right? Whatever that happened to him is awakened something in him. Like there's a trace of abyss in him. Yeah, it could be possible that Child is causing the water to rise because of his awakening in the abyss. I have a lot of questions. I need the next act.